Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive online orientation program on extensive use of Indian language primers. You are watching us live on PMeVIDYA channels 1 to 12 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. Today we are specifically catering to the audiences from the northeastern region of the country, and I'm sure you all have different questions in your mind regarding the primers, why they were developed at the first place and what's the philosophy behind the same. Well, it's very important to learn in your language so that you learn and grasp the concepts very conveniently and easily. Unless and until your linguistic foundation is strong, you won't be able to pursue it further, and for that we need to learn the language in a very understandable and simple manner. We need to preserve our languages as well, because once they disappear from the scene, we won't be able to have an access to the treasure trove of knowledge that can only be gained through the use of these languages. So for this thing, we have developed primers, but there's a lot more to it. So if you want to ask questions, please feel free to get in touch with us. Our phone number is 8800440559. Our email ID is dth.class12@ciit.nic.in, and on our YouTube handle NCERT Official as well. You can send us your questions, suggestions and of course your feedback. For this session, we are joined by our two experts, so I'm going to introduce them to all of you. We have with us Professor R. Meganathan. He is Professor of English from Department of Education in Languages, NCERT. Sir, namaskar and very warm welcome.
Namaskar, entire Northeast also.
We are also joined by Dr. Aleendra Brahma. He is Lecturer and Junior Research Officer from Central Institute of Indian Languages, Mysuru, and Officer in charge of Northeastern Regional Language Center, Guwahati. Sir, namaskar and very warm welcome to you too.
Namaskar.
Right. And now I am going to take this session forward, and let me ask the very first and basic question to Professor Meganathan. So, what are primers? Please apprise us all, we all want to know, and what was the philosophy behind developing them?
So great. As the word goes, primer, this is the first book in the language in written form.
Okay.
And we know that languages are basically oral. People speak languages. When they come to school or when they want to learn a language, so we need its written form or and the formal language.
Okay.
So, having thought of the importance of languages in education learning, as also in society, as you rightly mentioned, it is not simply a tool for communication, it is also the culture, treasure of knowledge, so on and so forth. So, we have in this country almost 275 mother tongues as per the 2011 census, and the census also recognizes 121 or so languages as languages, and the 275 languages have at least 10,000 speakers to be defined as mother tongues.
Yeah.
But now the irony of the country is, so far we have been able to bring to school education about 60-65 languages. Now there are about 47 languages in school as medium of instruction.
Wow.
And look at the situation where the child's language is the language but it is not there in school education. I am made to study in a language which is not mine. And imagine a 3+-year-old child or 5-year-old child, how she or he can cope with when they come to school.
True.
So, this was a felt concern for long, and thanks to the current Minister of Education, Honorable Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, he once went to a school in his own state, then found that they could not understand the state language Odia. Then he said, what is the language? Then he asked us, so can we do something to have to bring those languages into school? So, we developed the primers in 2 languages, Desia and Kovi, and later he said that Ministry of Education decided, along with Central Institute of Indian Languages and NCERT, we have over the period, Dr. Aleendra will explain better, over a period of year, 1 year, we developed the primers. So, the coming back to the question, what are primers and why primers? One is this is the first book in the language for children or anybody to use in school or for any purpose to get familiarized with and learn the language. One. Secondly, most of the languages except some do not have script, that does not matter. So, we found ways and means which we will be discussing now, how we narrow down on the scripts. Thing is, we have the oral language, we have to identify the alphabets, words, word chunks, then bring it to standard form and print it or make it available to children. The major purpose is our languages have to be recognized, to be brought into school, then and we feel that when my language is taught in the classroom. So, I am able to learn without any burden. I feel harmonious in school, peaceful in school. This is one. Right. I will come back. Let me throw the same question at Dr. Aleendra. Would you please respond to this? Why do we need primers? Dr. Aleendra.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me. So, yeah, it's a nice question. So, it is very obvious that primers are very important to, educate our kids, at school levels, at the, pre-primary stages. So, usually we used to, develop primers for class 1 to like 10 or class 8. But this time, we have an idea that before the kids go to class 1, they should have some idea about the language, starting from the alphabet, the letters, how to pronounce them, how to write them, and also along with this literacy basic knowledge, we also need to literate them with numeracy. So we have also included numerals in these primers. So
right.
this is
right. Thank you. So
yes.
let me take that your question further.
Please.
You asked the philosophy of developing the primers, which Dr. Aleendra has also addressed. If you look at the slide there, so I already said that my language is not in school, number one, and then I am made to study in a language which is in a way alien to me, which is not spoken at home, it is neither my mother tongue. Then how will I learn the concepts in social science, in mathematics, and the another language which is English, and initially English language is also introduced through the languages of children. So, this primer, the philosophy, the idea behind is let our children learn in school without burden and let their cognitive load not be burdened because they are made to learn in a language which is not their own. That is one. The second is, we have these languages a spoken form, they also have to be documented.
Yes.
So, these languages for the first time are seeing a way kind of print or documentation. Right. Many of the languages, of course, most of them are there. Then some 50 languages may be there, the remaining. Aleendra will throw some light on that later. Then another thing is, okay, I know that this is my mother tongue. For example, this is Bisunipriya Manipuri, Monpa primer and Nankauri primer. So, these are all languages, minor languages of Maring primer, maybe Manipur, Kasi primer, Meghalaya. So, these are the languages in spoken form, then they have to be documented.
Yeah.
So, what we did was, we have made the primers in bilingual format, the language, for example, Kasi primer, then whichever language is nearer to the which is written in the script, which the community which is convenient, which is used in the community, which the people wanted, number one. The other one, there are primers, for example, like the primer yesterday we discussed, Kodava primer is from Andhra Pradesh. So, we used Telugu script for that, meaning whichever is nearer to children, community, we use that. That is why, because that is the next language they may be knowing when they go to market or interact in school, a kind of community languages. then as Dr. Aleendra rightly pointed out, another major purpose of these primers is to develop literacy and numeracy in the languages. Why? Once I learn my language very well, when my first language is fully bloomed, then I can add on many more languages.
Okay.
So, this will be lifelong kind of support for children. So, I am able to think in my language, which I use it for other languages. We call it additive bilingualism, multilingualism. For example, I am a Tamil speaker, I learned Tamil first, then English was introduced in school, then later Hindi. It happens with every Indian child more or less, at least 2 or 3 or 4 languages they learn, 3 minimum. So, that is the other thing. Coming back to the foundational literacy, if I am able to develop some sort of functional emergent literacy in my language, I can transfer those skills to other languages.
True.
This is what. So, then let me ask Aleendra, how did you bring this local illustrations cultural aspect into that? Please throw some light on that.
Yeah. So, sir, how we started this kind of thing is that we try to find out people, mainly the resource persons from the concerned languages, through some authorized stakeholders of that particular language community, and they they deputed a couple of people to work with us, and they explained us about what kind of thing related to their culture and their community, their as a whole, their background. So we got to find so many things from them. Accordingly, we try to put the things in the primers, which will be very relevant to their language and their community, their culture.
Yeah, fine.
Right.
Stages.
And sir, I want to ask you, Aleendra sir, that now that we know that how primers were developed in the first place, what was the philosophy, I'm sure there were different stages of development which the team went through. So kindly tell us about more the different phases of primer development.
Yeah, so in 2023, immediately after one MOU was signed in between NCERT and Central Institute of Indian Languages in Bhubaneswar,
Okay.
we started developing primers from December 2023, and we organized a series of workshops, offline and online, in different locations of the country. Like Professor Meganathan also started one online workshop to prepare primers for scheduled Indian languages. Then I got opportunity to work on some around 65 languages from Northeast India, which are out of 121 recognized languages of the country. So yeah, then there were also some different kind of stages, like not immediately after the signing of MOU, we could not start developing the primers, but we tried to find out the framework, the type of primers we are going to develop. So we tried to conceive some kind of very good kind of primers that may be very suitable for the kids as the basal readers. Basal readers, we have put this term in the blurbs of the primers also, that basal readers means the basic book, the first book of the kids. How should it go? So we have some 13 around 13 points as guidelines to develop the primers. So the first stage was itself what should be the design of the primers. Then what kind of things should be there, like writing and reading should be there, and also there will be two parts, like literacy development of to develop the literacy and to develop the numeracy as well. Then some other things, like we try to find out the basic vocabulary items very commonly used by the kids.
Okay.
Or if an adult starts learning a language, what kind of vocabulary we have to introduce them. That is also one thing. And other things are like around 200 to 300 vocabulary items, basic vocabulary items, which are very suitable for kids. Those are collected from individual languages. And then we also had some kind of representation that is pictorial. So there was some kind of discussion that what kind of pictures should go in the primers,
Right.
which must be very suitable for kids and education. And yeah, and one thing was also there that we have to take care of any kind of copyright issues if we are taking some pictures from other secondary sources. Yeah.
You're right, sir, because primers are all about foundational literacy and numeracy, and we need to be very sensitive regarding the requirements of different region and the relatable content. And because National Education Policy 2020 is also focusing on the extensive use of mother tongue at the foundational level. Meganathan sir, I want to ask you, how do these primers meet the goals and visions of NEP 2020? And if you can show us these primers, how they have been developed and the contents, that would be really great.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that question. Because you know that in the year 2020 we brought out the National Education Policy after probably 5 years of deliberations across the country with all stakeholders, all institutions, government, private schools and NGOs, non-governmental organizations, language groups, tribal communities, so on and so forth. Then we realized the importance of what we have been saying in terms of curriculum and learning, that mother tongue based multilingualism is the way for countries like India. What is mother tongue based multilingualism? All children begin their school education, any education in their mother tongue, and move on to add as many languages possible. Then national policy absorbed, understood all the feelings and the comments, both academic, non-academic, social, political. Then we made very strong statements. We titled the language section of the National Education Policy, Multilingualism and the Power of Language. The policy recognizes that if my language is given to me in school, I get the power. So, multilingual education. So, multilingualism and the power of language, that was that, in which the policy says that the children's mother tongue, learners' mother tongue should be taught in school, brought to school, offered in school at least 5 years minimum, and as long as possible 8 years, 10 years. Imagine why this at least the policy says because look at the situations, a tribal pocket, a minor language community in Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand or Northeast, they have their mother tongues. Then the state language in some states, and in many states there are many languages. Nagaland has, if I am right, Dr. Aleendra will know better, maybe 20 languages. Arunachal has brought almost 80 languages into school education. These are all the follow up and aftermath of the National Education Policy.
Yeah.
Then we have the state language, then the pan Indian language, official language of the country, Hindi. Then of course, the English, the kind of linked language recognized by the Indian Constitution. So many languages, but before I learn all these languages, let me learn my language.
Yes.
So, I would like to show the primers here, taking one non-Kauri Moot primer. I think Dr. Aleendra, this primer is from which state of Northeast?
This is sir, this is from Andaman and Nicobar.
Andaman and Nicobar. Okay, let me show the Moring. M-A-R-I-N-G, Moring.
Moring is from Manipur. It is a Naga language from Manipur.
Naga language. Okay. So, let me illustrate from this for the viewers how whatever you have explained, throwing little further. Maringa, Maro, Yana, Lailik. Sorry for my pronunciation. Moring primer. So, look at that. We have the Prime Minister's message, who takes personal interest in the promotion of education and languages of children, and we have the you can see that it is written in the first script, Roman
this
script,
is Roman.
Roman. Then the Moring script is Manipuri script, most likely.
No, sir. Moring is written in Roman script. Then it is from the state of Manipur. So the official language of Manipur is Meiteilon, that is Manipuri.
Yes.
So that script is called Meiteimai,
Meiteimai.
which is used in writing Manipuri. So the Marine primer is written in Manipuri in Meiteimai script.
Then Devanagari, I can recognize.
Then
Then in
Devanagari,
English.
Hindi, then
So,
English,
and
yeah.
we also have the QR code to access the online thing. Then we have the message from our Honorable Minister, then the Secretary Education, then the introduction from CIIL and NCERT in the language concern, the Manipuri script.
This is how to use Marine primer written in Manipuri in Meiteimai script.
Then since we are also concerned about the development of literacy and numeracy, how Indian letters, the particular letters, this is taught in grade 1, I remember long ago when I went to. Then we are introducing the letters of the alphabet in the Roman script, which is familiar. Then the letters of the alphabet begins, and it is given in. Can you? I'm showing it, Dr. Aleendra. You need to explain it for me.
This is A.
Then
that the word is onna.
Yes. This
and
is written in.
This is written in Manipuri.
And the word chunks are written in.
These are written in Marine again. So this is a rhyme. Where we try to put the letter and the sound O in this rhyme, that they learn the sound and the letter.
And all the artifacts and the visuals used are culturally rooted in the community, the speakers of the language.
So then we try to introduce words like starting with the particular letter, the sound O, where the letter appears at the initial position, and in the second one where it appears at the middle position, and if it is also appearing at the final position, we are going to we have put those words also.
I know, I understand it is linguistically important, but it may not happen that all sounds may appear in all
the available. We have put.
Great. And this goes on like that. All the letters of the alphabet, and towards the end, it is also our purpose is also to enable children in the language to learn the numbers from literacy to numeracy. Then how number 1 is set in the language Mosing Kansa, Kat 1 2 Kat Kani Kyam, like that, like 1 2 3 and up to
20.
20. Then we have the Arab numerals,
writing practices.
Then all the letters of the alphabet.
This is the alphabet where we have put the meanings of the words in Marine language. So this is bilingual. So the other language is Manipuri here. So the alphabet of Manipuri language called Meiteimai has been given here at the last page.
Great. And we also have that how to access it through our NCERT CIIT apps. So it is absolutely learner friendly, and I also would like to inform the users here. This will be converted into audio video also soon. Now let me also take you around some of the the slides here. Look at it. If you look at the slide here, the pedagogical understanding, the focal points of the primers. If you look at it, you asked about national policy, and then thanks to Central Institute of Indian Languages, particularly Dr. Aleendra here, they put in a lot of pains to document the language. It's one of the, I would say that in the history of Indian language, Indian languages, it's a historic move. I tell you, and nowhere in the world at one point of time 121 languages have been documented with efforts and within a year. Okay, now look at it. You asked about national education policy.
Yes.
Multilingualism and the power of language is the title. Then national policy. This country at this juncture, this political dispensation, this educational understanding wants to promote all Indian language, all languages of children, and that is one major kind of vision. Then okay, how that can be achieved, Dr. Aleendra pointed out very well. Cultural awareness, bring the cultural artifacts, cultural practices, and mother tongue is the focus. These 121 mother tongues are being promoted. Then he nicely explained the letter of the alphabet, the sound appears in the beginning, in the middle and the end. So, linguistic expression, linguistic understanding. See, we feel that children who are at the age of 5, 7 or 10 may not know the language very well. They know the language very well, even they know what is a word, what is a sentence. We call it linguistic understanding, we call it is implicit, they may not be able to explain. So, and the focus is also foundational literacy and numeracy. Now, look at it, this is how we look at the primers to work in the classroom with people whoever wants to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
So, sir, this is the pedagogical structure of the primers, can we say that?
Yeah, pedagogical understanding.
Okay.
So, let me throw some light on that. Dr. Aleendra will add to that. So, how do we see, if you look at the slides there, how do we see the primers to be used, implemented in the classroom? If you look at the slide there, the activity based and child friendly are the words used, and of course, the focus is develop functional foundational literacy in children and numeracy, as we have now demonstrated, shown that we have letters of the alphabets, words and word chunks are used. Then of course, the book is very colorful, and we spend a lot of money, invested a lot of money, people's money, taxpayers money, so that it reaches back to them. Then foundational literacy and numeracy. Look at it, and the down below, balanced approach we have adopted. We children need to understand how the letter is decoded as a sound. Suppose in Tamil, let me take the example, amma, a, imma, amma, or apple, apple, pa, il, no? It's the double P represent one only. So, this is what we call it, decoding and understanding the phonics of the word.
Right.
That is important, but at the same time, when children decode, they decode all individually as well as together, amma or apple. So, they are decoding meaning also. So, we have adopted a kind of balanced approach, we call it NCERT adopts a balanced approach, promotes balanced approach, because children also have to decode and pronounce, children also have to pronounce as a whole. So, we call it phonics as well as whole word approach. Dr. Aleendra nicely said that the words and word chunks are used. For example, hello, how are you cannot be taught hello, how are you separately, they are word chunks. Come here is a word chunk. So, the same way we have used in all the primers the words and word chunks in form of rhymes and the words, so that the user, young children as well as an adult user who learns the language for the first time, from oral to standard language, understands, oh, this is how this language works.
Right.
Then we also have introduced the shapes. If you look at the slide there, then hands on writing practice also we have given. If you look at it, let me show it from here, all this how to write the letter. So, like traces, so that it is in all sorts, it is very inclusive from pedagogical perspective. A teacher can take it, or any facilitator or an elder, suppose any young elder child making the younger one learn, use it. This is how we understand the pedagogy behind the development of the primers. My only appeal to the people who are using it in the community or in school or as in adult education, NCERT has that big department called ULAS. We are doing quite a lot of things, and we also have developed primers in the 22 languages for adults.
Wow.
More or less with slight modifications. So, so lot of things happening in the promotion of languages. So, the communities, please make use of it.
Yes.
First thing is, I would say that please share these ideas this thing on the social media. Nowadays social media plays a great role, and tell that my language is available to my community, let us learn it. Why? Because the world today is facing the greatest danger. I would say the greatest danger is not war and all, of course they are dangerous. The greatest danger is every 15th day one language is extinct. We call it language death all over the world. Africa is facing the maximum number, in Asia also. So how do we protect it? How do you conserve it? The only way is to document it like this and bring to school.
Absolutely wonderful initiative, sir. But you just talked about balanced approach. I want to understand that how do you think teachers should adopt this balanced approach in order to enable children to develop literacy?
Great. For example, you want to learn a new language.
Yeah.
If we introduce the letters of the alphabet first, it doesn't mean anything to you. Because you already know one language, two languages, or even three languages.
Yeah.
And when children come to school, they know at the age of 3 plus or 4 plus, they know one language, at least one language orally sound, meaning they can speak in their mother tongue or home language without mistakes to their level.
True.
They may not talk about rocket technology, but for their functions, asking for food, crying, asking, going somewhere, asking someone, where are you going, will you help me? So, they are all grammatically correct language they are speaking. So, now when we introduce a language to children, a new language or the same language, if we introduce letters of the alphabet first, it does not make any sense. For me, A is a symbol, A is a symbol, but when it is used in the word and it is a meaning. So, we call it meaning focused teaching. So, we tell teachers, you introduce Ase Amma, A for apple, whichever this one language, I know this the languages, then Amma is the meaning, A is the sound. Then as Dr. Aleendra nicely said, the letter appears in the beginning, in the middle and the end. The child gets familiarity with the language.
Right.
So, we build familiarity with the language. Then over the period of time, listening to rhymes, songs, if you recall in those good old our childhood days, we were introduced to rhymes, we were only singing and for the meaning. For example, I remember that the bus goes round and round. I was getting that image of the bus.
Yes.
So, through which I was also learning English language and the same way my language, Tamil or Hindi, whatever the language. So, that is what balanced approach. You introduce in words and word chunks with meaning as meanings, then also draw their attention towards the sound of the letter. Suppose ka, kalvi, ka come, okay, where the C come. So, there are lots of issues with the phonemic languages that there is no one-to-one correspondence between the letters of the alphabet and the sound, like English language and many languages. And most Indian languages have one-to-one correspondence. It is in a way easier. I am saying non-linguistic statement. So, pedagogically move from meaning, also make children understand how sound is produced, means sound, say it, phonics, then whole language approach. So, if we take a middle path, use both as and when it is working, that will enable children to acquire language. I am using the word not learning, acquire language. They internalize the idea behind how a sound is produced, a word is produced. For example, in some of the words in English, KNOW, K is silent. 100 times you tell children, initially they won't understand. When it is spoken, they will understand.
Yeah.
That's why. Or contrast. Yeah, all right.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, if I can add something here.
Please, sir, please.
So, yeah, so we can have two types of orthography, that means writing system. So, we call them, broadly categorize them into shallow orthography and deep orthography. Suppose we have letter to sound mapping. Ko is always ko, kha is always kha, ga is always ga. This is kind of, letter to sound exact mapping. So, this can be an example of, shallow orthography, but in case of suppose English, C can become sometimes ka, it can become sa. So, it is not, mapping a letter to a sound. Sometimes it can, map to two other sounds also. So in this case, we can say that English using Roman is a kind of deep orthography. Yeah.
Yeah, great, great. Okay, let us also take a look at the some of the states from northeast the primers developed. Let me show you the primers of Assam. The slide says that. For example, this many primers. Dr. Aleendra, we also have to move forward beyond 121 languages, because I remember I have my friend Professor Dr. Koireng here. Or Koireng, he says he is from Manipur, he says my language is not there. So Koireng is the language, that is also his name. I told, okay, see, this country's democracy from center to periphery has taken long years to move, thanks to the current government taking this initiative. Ideally all languages should be documented, brought into school. So look at it. So there are some languages maybe not there. Look at the primers of Assam, this many we have. Then look at the primers of Arunachal Pradesh, this many we have. Then this is Andhra Pradesh, all Andaman Nicobar, Andhra Pradesh. So there are many such Chhattisgarh, there are many we have brought in, and now it will take little more time to move forward to the other languages, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Sinha, Balti, Tibetan. So there are many such things, Goa, you will be so many such things we have been trying, and I was there 2 days ago in Ranchi, Jharkhand. 17 languages have been brought into school under the multilingual education program. So it also tells us that it is not the effort from Delhi or at the state capital, it is also the effort of the communities to bring the languages into school.
Absolutely.
So this is how our effort, Manipuri primers, many more we are. So the efforts, and I must salute Central Institute of Indian Languages, Professor Aleendra Mohan and Dr. Aleendra and Dr. Sujay, many more people for these efforts, along with the joint director of this institute, Central Institute of Educational Technology, Professor Aleendra Brahma, and our director, Professor Dinesh Prasad Saklani, for bringing out this efforts. And every day my director and Professor Brahma used to ask me what is the progress kind of thing, and we had quite a lot of controversies also. I would like to request Aleendra, Dr. Aleendra, that how you arrive at a particular script, particular letters of alphabet. Let also our viewers from northeast understand how complex is the situation of arriving at the script, which script, and also letters of the alphabet. Can you please?
Yeah, sir. As of now, we have developed 65 primers from Northeast India. So these languages are written in 13 scripts. So we have different scripts. It's actually not followed like in other zones. Actually, in case of Northeast, the idea was in which language they are, continuing, using to write their language. Suppose we take languages from Nagaland. We have developed 16 primers in 16 languages from Nagaland. All the Naga languages from Nagaland, they are written in Roman script only, but with some modifications. So their alphabets are not the same. If we take the alphabet of Ao, it is different from the alphabet of Kujale or Kuki, like that. So they have some similarities also, like they have sound is there, which is represented with U with umlaut symbol, that is 2 dots above the U letter. So if we take another language like Form, in Form language there is a sound like ga, not ga, that is ga sound. For that sound particularly they have used the V sound, like that. So there are some difficulties in understanding this kind of variations in using the script. And if we move to Arunachal Pradesh, there are 6 languages. We have 7 languages. We have developed primers, Idu Mismi, that is one variety of Mismi. Then we, produce one primer in Nishi, then Tangsa, then Wanchu, Adi, Nokte, and Monpa. So Monpa is written in a script which is called Sambota. That is a kind of Tibetan script. It is also used in writing Sherpa and Bhutia languages of Sikkim. And Mismi, Nishi, Adi, Nokte are written in Roman script. But in Arunachal Pradesh also we can see the differences in using the script. Suppose we take the language Nishi. So in Nishi, you can see the cover page, the title of the Nishi primer. It is the name of the primer is Nishi Perler, and the Perler sound is spelled as PVNLV. So you cannot find out any vowel as such in that particular word, but in that language actually the V sound is used for the sound, which is a vowel in that language. So it is Nishi Perler. So like that we have different kinds of orthography using the same script, Roman script, in different languages of different states of Northeast. Then the Tangsa and Wanchu languages from Arunachal Pradesh are Naga languages, which are the only languages that have their own scripts. So Wanchu is written in Wanchu script and Tangsa is written in Tangsa script. And if we move to Assam, then Assamese is written in Assamese script, Boro is written in Devanagari script, Deuri is again written in Assamese script, Dimasa is written in Roman script, Mar is written in Roman script, Karbi is written in Roman script, Missing, Tiwa are also written in Roman script, then Rava is written in Assamese script.
Okay. This makes me ask you a question as a teacher, leave alone linguist and linguistics. Does script matter unless otherwise the community, the speaker demand for it? Any script any language can be written in any script. If I make that statement, that is problematic.
I think to some extent,
okay.
Because there are some issues also. Like if you take the example of Kokborok, which comes under Tripuri language, recorded in the Census of India 2011. So under Tripuri, we can find out a mother tongue called Kokborok. So in case of Kokborok, we have issues like whether the language should be written in Bengali script or Roman script. So this kind of issue is also there with some languages, but it is a very rare case now in Northeast. Yeah. Only the thing is that with some languages which are unwritten, like if we take the example of Mokh language, Mokh language from Tripura, the language is actually unwritten, but it is recorded in the Census of India 2011 as a recognized language. And this is the only language which is written in Burmese script. Yeah. So in this kind of language, we do not have that issue, that whether we are going to use the Burmese script or any other script. But the issue is with writing or typing the script, because Burmese is very difficult for them to type. Yeah.
Right, sir. Well, now that we have learned how the script is being decided for different languages, we've seen different primers also. Of course, northeastern region has a treasured trove of different languages and dialects, but this particular 1 hour session is not enough for the same. And you can see on the screen also, so many primers have been developed, and there's much more work that's needed to be done. We are expecting the audio format very soon as well. But before I finally conclude the session, I would like to have one last question from both the experts here. Let's start with you, Aleendra sir. I want to ask you how the primers will be beneficial for the target learners and the target communities, keeping the northeastern region in focus, because today we are targeting the audiences from there.
So already Professor Meganathan sir has said that the primers, if produced for mother tongue speaker kids, like one kid who doesn't speak any scheduled language, or a language which is not introduced in his or her school, but he or she speaks her or his mother tongue, then the thing is that immediately if she or he goes to the school for the first time, it is very difficult for her or him to get introduced to a primer or a book in another language which he or she doesn't know. So this primer, suppose we take the example of cookie. Suppose one cookie child, he or she goes to his or her school for the first time, and she finds out in the school that the textbooks are in a different language which he or she doesn't know. So it is a very difficult situation, but if a child can start with a language which already he or she knows, it is very easy to start his education.
That's right.
That is also one very crucial kind of point of learning actually for kids.
True, sir. And Professor Meganathan, would you like to add?
He has really brought in NCERT's idea very well, that we want children's language in school so that cognitive development, harmoniously being freedom from fear happens, so learning happens. We can ultimately develop them into harmonious citizens. So let me also quote from two great statesmen. One is Nelson Mandela, the great leader, said, if I speak to the person in his or her mother tongue, it goes into their heart.
Absolutely.
And Mahatma Gandhi said, another statesman, the greatest leader of the 20th century, and of course still valid leaders, he said, India lives in villages, but actually India lives in villages through her languages. So wherever we go, we see the language change, people live together, language represent identity. So you are a Punjabi speaker, we call you are a Punjabi, you are from Punjab. Aleendra is from Assam, so he is an Assamese. So I am a Tamil speaker, I am a Tamilian. Language is also identity, language is also culture, language is also knowledge, language is also for learning. We learn through a language, we believe, we think through a language, even though people differ that thinking is different from language, that is deeper level, but we live through a language. So we think through a language. If in that context, in that case, if my language is not given to me in all sorts, not only in school, otherwise also, we need to really consider it a kind of disservice to society. So we brought out this one. Thanks to the Prime Minister and the Education Minister, Central Institute of Indian Languages and NCERT, CIIT. So let us recognize language is not simply for communication. Language is much more than that. Language is an instrument for learning. So we say that language and learning are intertwined. I learn mathematics, but language is there. I learn science. So if I learn in the language which I know, I am familiar with, then nothing like that.
Absolutely.
So we can expect
indeed.
One more point I can add in this, to this question, answer to this question. So if we we can see the languages of India. Most of the languages of India recognized as Indian languages, even if they are non-scheduled languages. So most of the non-scheduled languages, they do not have any written form of their language. So this primer will encourage the language communities who do not have any written form of their language to start writing their language also.
Right.
Because we found out that in some languages there were no alphabet as such to write their language. So the development of Indian language primers also encourages the people, the language communities of India to write their language.
True.
Absolutely.
This is a very good move actually.
Absolutely. On this positive note and this wonderful messages from both the guests of ours, I would like to wrap up this session here. Dr. Aleendra, thank you so much for your efforts, for your time and presence to the session. Professor Meganathan, thank you so much for your time and efforts. Well, we are wrapping up this online orientation program on extensive use of Indian language primers. We conducted it since Monday. Today was the last day. We covered all the regions of the country, east, west, north, south, and of course the northeast region. And I hope that all the stakeholders by now will use these primers, and as a citizen of the country, I now know that I have this very wonderful resource which I can use and learn a different language which is closest to my own. So thank you so much, and it's a wrap. And before I leave, let me tell you very quickly what you're going to watch next. In a short while from now, you can watch a session on teaching learning interventions for inclusive classrooms. It's going to be on mathematics, and topic will be the Suraj Kund Fair. With this, that's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, signing off, and we'll join you soon. Namaskar.